Hi, everybody. Welcome to another episode of 10 Words or Less, in which I ask brief questions of interesting people and ask for brief responses in return. I'm Michael Prager. I'm a professional speaker, a certified wellness coach, and the author of two books, Fat Boy, Thin Man, and Sustainable You. You can find more than 70 10 Words or Less interviews at michaelprager.com/10 words or less. Today's entry is part of a series among those, a subset maybe, of interviews with presenters to the New England chapter of the National Speaker Association. Today's guest, an entrepreneur, professional speaker, and an expert on LinkedIn and other personal branding issues, will be speaking at Insane's meeting January 7th, and details about that will be posted when I post this interview on the blog. If you were wondering, yes, it's NSANE, and we are the people who took the I out of insane. Now, here's my usual proviso to those of you playing at home. 10 words is an ethic. It's an intention. It is not a limit. So please, no counting. And if you think it's so easy, let's see you try it. Okay. Donna.
Hello.
Hi, thanks for being here. Please spell your first and last, or as many names as you want, as you wish them to appear in print.
Sure. It's Donna, D-O-N-N-A, Serdula, S-E-R-D-U-L-A.
Thank you. Where were you born and when? Please be as specific as you're willing to be.
Sure. I was born in Bristol, Pennsylvania, and September 2nd, 1974. I am a Virgo, and I exhibit all of those traits.
Okay, now I will have to go and look up what those traits are so that I will know you better when you come to visit. Where do you live now?
I live actually, I just moved outside of Bucks County a few years ago. So Bucks County is this beautiful area just outside of Philadelphia, and I moved across the river to Delran, New Jersey. So I went from being a Pennsylvania girl to a New Jersey girl.
Well, I think that you have a much better chance of being sung about by Bruce Springsteen now.
I do. It was actually one of the reasons why I moved across.
Of course. Tell me what you do for work.
I am a business owner. I'm a LinkedIn profile writer. And so we write, I have actually a team of people, over 40 of them now, and we help executives and professionals from all over the world stand out on LinkedIn.
Awesome. So tell me, what was your first paying job?
Oh my goodness. I was a babysitter. Paid under the table.
And what was something you learned while babysitting that's still useful for you today?
If you want a kid to go to sleep, do not tell them anything overly scary. It'll never happen.
Good to know. Are you ever able to use anything like that, like some corollary to that in your work today?
I think it's keeping everything positive and upbeat and not going to the negative.
Cool. Cool. All right. So tell me, somebody outside your family who was an early influence on you. Could be somebody you knew, but it could be some event or person, a famous person.
Jeffrey Gitomer. I would absolutely have to say Jeffrey Gitomer. He's the sales king, the sales expert. He's written a ton of books, and he really inspired me and influenced me.
Awesome. Excellent. I am familiar with his name, but I'll go look at, now I have two things to look up: Virgo traits and Jeff Gitomer. Okay. Tell me something interesting that you know about body language.
Be careful when a person crosses their arms like this. It means they're closed. And if they are, hand them a piece of paper so they reach out and open up.
Huh. I knew the first part. I never thought of the second part. That's good. Thank you. Tell me, a photograph that you have always admired.
Oh my goodness.
I read your LinkedIn profile. It said you were into photography. You're free to skip any question you'd like.
No, it's a good question. No one's ever asked that to me, so I have nothing like, I don't know. I don't have an answer. I'm sorry.
Okay. No, that's great. Quite all right. Hardly anybody ever gets, some of the questions aren't good ones. Something a trained eye would notice immediately when looking at a damaged auto.
Something immediately. I know why you're asking this, because on my LinkedIn profile, I mentioned that I was a licensed appraiser. And so I should be able to say, how big is the dent? Is it over the size of your hand? And that would then tell me how many hours it would take to actually repair the dent. So that's, that's why I know that. But I have to tell you, it's been years. I have not even thought about dented cars or body panels in a long time.
Fair enough. Fair enough. You know, it just stands to reason, though, that when you're going to interview someone who's an expert on LinkedIn profiles, you should read their LinkedIn profile. So that's what I did. So how many social media platforms are you on?
Oh, I'm on a slew. Facebook, Twitter. Twitter, I've got over 45,000 followers. I'm on Instagram and Pinterest, obviously LinkedIn. I'm also on Tumblr slightly. Yeah, those are the ones that I'm on that I actively use and love.
So I'm interested in the 45,000 on Twitter. I know a lot of people do that inorganically. They buy them or they engage in tactics to raise their numbers. Is that something you recommend?
I would say if you can make it tactically organic, that's probably the better way of going. And so what I mean by that is I've never purchased followers. I don't think that's smart. I think it's only going to hurt you. But what I have engaged in over the last, oh my goodness, 3 years is I make sure that I follow people. And when you follow people, they'll follow you back. And if you follow enough people and they follow you back, you get 45,000 followers. And there's tactics to it. It's strategic. But I also find that when you put out really good content, people want to follow you. And so if you do those things together, you get a really nice platform of a strong channel of good people. That was more than 10 words, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's okay. You keep trying for that and we'll do fine.
Okay.
Can you have too many LinkedIn platforms? Excuse me, social media platforms?
Yeah, I think you can. If you're not using them well, if you're not having fun, if they don't get you closer to your goals, then you can absolutely have too many. You really want to make sure that you're using the right ones, the ones that help you forward your message and connect you with the right audience.
And how do you know that? You know, like obviously LinkedIn is the business one, but how do you know? You know, I'm of an advanced age, and I drew the line. I have Google Plus, but who cares about that? But I do have, you know, what I consider the three: Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter. But I haven't gone into Snapchat or Pinterest or any of the others you named. How do you know what, you know, which ones you need to get where you want to go?
You know, I think it's a few things. One, you do need to read up. You need to research. There's a lot of sites out there that give you demographics. I think it's just using them, picking it up, playing with it. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. It's also asking your target audience. I mean, you know who your clients are, and ask where they are. If they are on Facebook, get on Facebook. If they're on Pinterest, get on Pinterest. If they're not there, but you still enjoy it, use it, have fun, but don't necessarily use it for business.
Okay. So how many LinkedIn connections do you have?
I have 30,000 first-degree connections.
What is your standard for accepting or pursuing a LinkedIn connection?
Are they breathing?
We had, in September, we had Jeff Hazlett come to the chapter, and he said, are you requesting a connection with anybody who looks at your profile? And his reaction was, are you kidding me? Why not? They've already shown they have some interest in you.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask, to me, when I ask someone for an introduction on LinkedIn, I always allow for, well, I know you may not know this person and you may not feel comfortable introducing me since you barely know them. And to me, that kind of being connected on a social platform to a bunch of people I don't know doesn't make the numbers for me as useful as they might appear. Can you react to that?
Can I change your mind?
Sure. By the way, I'll just point out that question was a lot more than 10 words or less.
That's okay. I forgive you. My answer might be a little bit more than 10 words, but it might change your mind. So the reason why I have so many, first degree connections, it's twofold. One, I want people to hear my message. And so when I have enough people as first degree connections, when I do post a status update, it's going to travel. So that's one of the reasons. The second reason is I want to find people and I want to get found by people. And when you search LinkedIn, most people think you're searching the entire LinkedIn database of users, but you're not. When you search LinkedIn, doing a keyword search, you're only searching your LinkedIn network. That's your first degree, second degree, third degree, and all the groups that you're a part of, those members. And so if you want to find people and you want to get found by people who are searching for someone like you, you need to have a large network. If you only have 100 people, you're limiting yourself. And so if you want to get found, you need to have a strong network.
Okay, so I guess the error of my ways, and this is the question.
So if your goal is not to get found, if it's not to find inbound prospects, then there's no need for you to connect.
No, I get that. I was thinking that, having a network of people who know me, to whom I can share my network with with others who connect with me, and have it be a living, breathing thing, as opposed I think what you're saying is that's only one.
That's one aspect.
Right, but there's more to it that you can gain by doing it this other way.
And the way you might be able to make it work for you is to say, look, I'm not a closed networker where I'm only connecting with the people that I know and I trust. And I'm not an open networker that I'm connecting with everyone and their brother, but I'm something in between. And, if a person that I don't know connects with me, I'll check them out. And if they look professional, if they look viable, if they look interesting, I'll connect with them. And you can just accept those inbound connections. You don't necessarily need to go out and aim low and wide yourself, but, be open and see. And if that person, says to you that they are from Nigeria and they have a very large amount of money to put in your bank account, you can say no to those. That's okay.
Okay. I'll have to go back and get rid of a few. I noticed that you have 99 plus endorsements in at least 50 categories.
Yeah.
Does a LinkedIn endorsement have any value?
Yeah, it does. It does. With endorsements, the way I look at it is, with an endorsement, it's a person, giving you a thumbs up for that skill, for that strength. And it's something that you can't really truly control. It's outside of your control how many people come in and endorse you. So the more you are endorsed for those skill sets, I believe LinkedIn will then help you in terms of the search engine optimization for that. So if a person is searching for those skill sets and you have a lot of thumbs up, a lot of endorsements, your profile will land higher in the search. So for that reason alone, I think it's smart. The other thing is to realize that, I'm going well over 10 10 words. We're going to end that because I think I made my point. I'm not going to keep going.
Okay. Why do you subsidize veterans entering the workforce?
Because I believe that veterans have done so much for our country. They've sacrificed a lot, and I feel that we need to do something. I need to do something. My husband is a former Marine, and he's also been very supportive of this, and so we give away our products free of charge to all veterans and active duty military personnel.
Awesome. Thank you for doing that. I'm grateful for their service, and I'm grateful for your helping them by virtue of their service. And I'll put it on social media, and maybe a couple more veterans will see it. I hope so.
I hope so. Fingers crossed.
Okay, so why are you coming to NSA New England?
I'm coming to NSA New England because I like New England. I love talking about LinkedIn. I love the idea that I'm going to be in front of a bunch of speakers, like-minded people, and I'm there to help them optimize their profile in ways they've never been thought of.
Okay, I definitely look forward to that. Tell me something specifically actionable and useful that an audience member might hear from you.
They're going to find out that copying and pasting the resume is a big no-no, that they need to be writing in first-person narrative when they undertake their LinkedIn profile, and they're going to learn some tips and tricks that's going to allow them to fall higher in the search results if a person is searching for them on LinkedIn.
Excellent. Excellent. Tell me something else. Can you give us a second actionable item that people might be able to go home and put into effect right away? Okay, please do.
They're going to. One of the things I'm going to show them is how to create a LinkedIn headline that's going to get people to take notice of them, especially if they do fall in the search results. And it's going to this headline that we're going to create together is going to be so compelling. It's going to really make that reader, that viewer want to click to learn more and see their entire LinkedIn profile.
Got it. Great. Is there some preparation that a prospective audience member could do to make the presentation more valuable?
Oh yes, absolutely. I would suggest that an audience member prepares by going through maybe an old resume if they have one, and really thinking about what they want out of LinkedIn, who their target audience is, what their target audience would be looking for in terms of what they provide, and just really think about some of the accomplishments throughout their career that they've been really proud of. If they do that, when we get together, they're going to find that creating that profile is a lot easier. This information is going to really flow out of them in a much easier way.
Great. Now, if I'm correct, there will be some actual writing done during the presentation. It won't just be you at the front of the room speaking. Is that correct? Oh,
this is going to be one of my corporate workshops. And so they're going to leave with a headline, a summary, and a full experience. So they're going to have a profile that they can key in later. They're not going to key it in right then, but they'll be able to key it in later, and they'll have something that they can be really proud to have represent them online.
Awesome. Sounds good. So tell me, who is somebody outside your family who deserves more credit than they get?
Someone who deserves more credit than they get. That's a really good question, Michael. Maybe I'll answer this and say Reid Hoffman.
I love the answer already. Who is Reid Hoffman?
He's the founder of LinkedIn.
Oh.
And I don't think many people know his name readily. Maybe some do in some circles, but I think this guy has created something amazing. I think he's really changed the way business is going to be conducted now and especially into the future with Microsoft's acquisition. And so I think he deserves a little bit more love than what most people provide.
Got it. Yeah, he's definitely an influential person I never heard of. So that's why I love this question, and thank you for coming up with such a good answer.
Thank you.
So my last question is, what's the one thing you wish everybody would just get right?
I wish that more more people would take control over their careers. And I wish, in terms of getting it right, my thought is, really aim high, love what you're doing. Don't just do it because it delivers, a paycheck. And, be strategic and network and make those inroads to get to the place you want to be. Don't just find that you fall into something and just stay there, but really look towards landing right where you want to be. And that would mean that they would get it right.
Got it. Got it. Well, very good. Donna, please stick around after we end the broadcast so that I can ask you about one other thing. But before that, I want to say thank you so much for spending the time with me. And I hope it was good for you too.
It was. Thank you so much.
And we will, and I'll see you on January 7th. Actually, I'll see you on the 6th, but we'll see you on the 7th at the Embassy Suites Hotel on Winter Street in Waltham, Massachusetts. The program goes from 8 until 2:30. Your portion of it, as you know, is a little bit less than that because there's more to the event than just you, although you are the prime attraction, and we appreciate your coming. I will give more information in the blog post related to this video, and as I say, thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. This was fun.
Excellent.